I listened to the video. I wanted to see how it was going. And one of the things I said, I didn't finish the thought, is that if you use a watercolor pencil and you make a mistake, before you add water, if you don't press too hard, you can erase it. So that is a really nice feature about using watercolor pencils. And generally, even if I do make a mistake, I don't worry about it, because I figure I probably meant for it to, the color to go where it went. But I wanted to finish that thought for you. So I do keep an eraser handy. That looks pretty. I like that. Yeah, I think that's showing better. So if you don't choose to put it on watercolor paper, then just use pencils or crayons. And you don't want to use water, is what I'm saying, because the paper will not be strong enough, and you won't be happy with the finished product. But if you just want to color it in, then you can just use regular paper. So when I color, I keep adding color here and there, and then I step back and I look at it and to see if it feels balanced. And it does. I like this. I like that blue. It's a pretty color. So anyway, back to these pencils. I don't know why I didn't use them all these years. And then even after I found them, right before our move to this house, I found them right before, because I was cleaning and going over everything. It's like, where have you been? I didn't realize that I even had them. So I packed them up, and because of our move and getting settled, I still didn't use them. And I found them the other day, like 2 days ago, and I thought, you know what, it is time for me to use them, because when I look at these colors, I just think they are so beautiful. I don't still have the box, so I don't know what this is, but I'm sure it was one of those large packs of coloring pencils. I'm going to concentrate. Yeah, I love this blue. Because it's a dove, I think that she's going to be blue, gray, and pinks, those colors that I told you. That's just what I feel would be very nice. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on this and stop talking. I may add some music when I edit this. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I'm going to be quiet so that I can focus in, because that's another thing that I do when I am drawing, when I'm painting. I focus my energy into my work. And when I do that, you can feel it. And so I want to show you that is part of what I do. So I'm going to be quiet now while I work. A thought will come into my head. And this morning I keep saying beautiful. And even when I'm being quiet and you can't hear me, I'm thinking, this is so beautiful. And sometimes that's it. It's one thought that I have, whatever it is. I channel that thought into what I am doing. You are so beautiful. You are really lovely. And it's what I hear in my head. And I repeat it. And as I do, it affects what I do. So that is one thing that I'm thinking right now, just because this is a tutorial, taking you through my process. This is going to be lovely. I can tell. Now, if you do the watercolor and you have your page out of the book, when you use your water, you're going to need to use some tape and tape it down. Because if you don't, your page will buckle and it will be misshapen. And it won't lay flat when it dries. So, when you add water, you're going to want to use some low tacky tape. I have some masking tape that is not very tacky at all. If you want to tape something but I don't know, that's really the only time I would use it, honestly, because it's useless otherwise. But it's perfect for watercolor, and it was inexpensive, but it's that cheap, like a manila color masking tape. And feel it, if it's too tacky, you want to put it against your skin to get some of that tack off of it, because you don't want to tear your paper. But what you do is you lightly tack it down all the corners, all the sides, and use that. It must lay flat while it's wet. That way it'll lay flat when it's dry. So there's an important safety tip for you. I'm adding this green. I'm loving these colors. I'm loving these colors. When I draw, I try at first, like with anything, first it's not always so easy, but what I do is if I feel myself distracted, I will recenter myself. It's like, okay, you focus on what you're doing now. I'm doing this now. Wow, that's pretty. I'm enjoying the color. It changes. And whatever color you do, it does something to it. Adds another dimension. And I love it. That's nice. I hope you guys are picking this up.